Hi everyone, I'm Heather Warlick Moore, and with me today I have Fred Minnick. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Fred is, well, he's an Oklahoman. You were born and raised in Jones,
That's
Oklahoma.
right.
You have a lot of family there still.
Still do.
And not only that, you are a veteran, and you were in Iraq for a year, and you were in the military a total of about 10 years, right?
Close to it.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have written a book, which will be coming out soon, Camera Boy.
Mm-hmm.
It's due out November 1st. And first of all, why Camera Boy? Why'd you call it that?
Well, my job was, I was an Army photojournalist, and basically I had an M16 on one side of my body and a camera on the other, and rounds and lenses in between.
Wow.
And so I would show up to a unit and ready to document operations or tell their story, if you will. And someone always shouted out, "Hey, camera boy, come over here.
Okay.
Come here and get a shot of this, camera boy." So it just kind of stuck.
So you were a public relations type of person in the Army.
That's right.
And you documented all of the action that was going on. Wrote stories to send home, to show a family how their soldier was doing, or a local boy, something like that, right?
Yeah, that's right. We kind of like to say that our job was to tell the Army story, and our unit did a very good job of that. We would go around and find people with interesting feature angles, like I would find somebody who was from another country and was in the U.S. Army because they wanted to be an American citizen, and if they finished their tour, they became an American citizen after that. And I also, unfortunately, documented a lot of combat, a lot of firefights,
right,
some beheading chambers,
wow,
stuff like that.
Yeah, this book has a lot of really interesting, it's one moment you're in it's sort of a touching moment where you're helping, children, and they're thanking you from the bottom of their hearts, and then the next moment you're out shooting a car bomb situation.
Yeah.
So can you kind of, share with me you went through everything over there.
Yeah.
And when you came back, you actually suffered quite a bit.
Yeah, with this particular war, and I don't think any war is easy, but in this particular war, on one hand, soldiers are asked to go out and help communities and help individuals, and then the next day they're asked to go out and kill the people who were trying to kill them. And in many situations, we would just walk around in a city and wait for someone to shoot at us because we wouldn't know where they were or something like that.
You said that writing the book, Camera Boy, was in a lot of ways cathartic for you.
Yeah.
You went to a cabin on a lake in Wisconsin and spent how long there writing this book?
I think I was there for maybe 3 months or so, and I've written some of it before, but in therapy, my therapist at the time said, you write for a living, why don't you write a book about this, get it all out. And what I wrote was raw emotion. There was no, I wasn't concerned about my journalism professor with a red ink pen. I just laid it all out there.
Right.
And, after I wrote it, I felt better.
Yeah, and the purpose also you mentioned was to kind of illuminate the PTSD for people. You have a PTSD resource guide in the book. So what do you hope people take away from the book?
Well, the book is also very much about the people I served with and some friends I lost. I hope it lets people know about great heroes like that, and also lets them know that coming home is not easy. In fact, it's really hard. And you see all these commercials out there about a guy walks into New York City and he's like, "Welcome home." It really feels like that. It really feels like that. And and I hope people see the PTSD resource guide and look through that and say, if I know someone like this, you can't push someone to get help. If you have a loved one, you can't force them to get help. But sometimes your knowledge about it might help them. So.
Right. Well, great. Well, I'm glad that you're doing so much better now. And
Thank you.
You have a book signing at Full Circle Bookstore in 50 Penn Place, and that is November 18th at 6:30 p.m. So you'll be there signing books and meeting people. So I should also mention that you formerly worked for the Oklahoman.
Yes, I did.
You were a sports copy editor, and you did some writing back when you were in college, right? At OSU. So, well, it's great to have you here, and thank you very much for sharing your story.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks for watching.